Edward Stevenson, TimelessWealth.net, and the following is basic technical analysis on XTend Medical Corporation, traded under the symbol XMDC. Bear in mind as I annotate this chart that this is the daily chart, meaning every bar and or candle on this chart represents one session worth of price action. What I've annotated here is this downtrend dating back to mid-October and ending, or possibly ending, coming off of Tuesday's trading session. As you can see, the price broke above this resisting level, so we use red to represent resistance and green to represent support. So once again, this is a downtrend, and coming off of Tuesday's trading session, it appears that the price closed above resistance, meaning as resistance levels are broken, they become supporting ones. So this red line now becomes a green one, indicating support. There are two other things that you should note about this potential technical breakout. One, the fact that it occurred on above average volume, so there's definitely a good relationship volume price wise. Two, the fact that I would only consider this a preliminary breakout. Why? Because this is the initial sign of a breakout. In the event the price pulls back, tests this mark right here, which is now offering support, and heads back up, then we know we have a technical breakout and a breakout on strength. And two, I'd like to see this resisting mark at 4 cents and 65 hundredths of a cent. So 4 and 65 hundredths of a cent fall, and that is the trending 50-day simple moving average. Excuse me, that'd be this red line right here. So what I'd like to do now is scroll down to the technical indicators and try to show you some secondary confirmation to what I believe is a potential breakout in price. First of all, we have the relative strength index, which is currently breaking above the 50 level and into the momentum zone, which is above the 70 mark. When that happens, we tend to see above average volume enter the market, such as this period right here. So if I scroll a little higher, you can see that the volume that came in during this period was well above average, especially when you compare it to this period right here or any period preceding this period, as well as this mark where a prior breakout, let's say, occurred. Then we have the MACD, which is curling up and suggesting potential uptrend, as well as the ADX. As you can see, we have a bullish crossover here, as we do on the full stochastics, and not to mention the fact that full stochastics is breaking above the 50 mark for the first time since this period right here. So what I'd like to do now is indicate very obvious levels of support and resistance. First off, I mentioned the 50-day simple moving average being pretty crucial resisting mark, so that would be at the 4 and 65 hundredths of a cent mark. Following which, we have resistance at this mark right here. So let me just indicate this with a horizontal line in red. I believe this is in and around 5 and 3/10 of a cent, maybe 5 and 4/10 of a cent. I'm not quite sure exactly where that is, but just keep this level in mind here. And I'm basically drawing this based on the high coming off of this trading session, rather the close, after which where the price found support back here, drifted above this line quite well until it broke below over here. And following this resisting mark, we are looking at resistance more or less at the low on that candle right there, and the high off of this trading session right here. So that would be 0.69 or 6 and 9/10 of a cent. So again, to quickly wrap up, resistance at the 6 and 9/10 of a cent mark, the 5 and 3/10 of a cent mark, the 50-day simple moving average at 4 and 65 hundredths of a cent. As for support, we're looking at this trend line right here, as well as the 10-day simple moving average, which would be this blue line right here. So let me just point that out. It's a little difficult to see, but if you follow this blue line right here, you can see it supports the price quite well, as well as the 100-day simple moving average at 3 cents per share, and parabolic SAR just under 3 cents, which would be 2 and 76 hundredths of a cent exactly. So these trending dots right here. So those are a few key things to keep in mind. Let me just draw in that supporting level. So this would be the 100-day simple moving average, just at 3 cents per share or so, as well as these trending dots. And if you're looking at this chart from a long-term perspective, you definitely want to see the price hold above this 200-day simple moving average, currently at 1 and 55 hundredths of a cent. So that basically wraps up this edition of Technical Analysis on XTend Medical Corporation. Bottom line is we'd like to see this potential technical breakout confirmed in the following trading sessions. Hopefully this supporting trend line will remain just that, a supporting trend line. Once again, this was Edward Stevenson from TimelessWealth.net. I encourage you to visit my site and tune in to some of the educational materials, publications, and articles of all kinds that I've published on my site, as well as join my free newsletter for overlooked trading and undervalued investment ideas. Thank you for listening.